Well, now it's a very crucial topic. We have a fabulous set of panel. Dr. Pankaj Srivastava, Head Fraud, Aditya Birla Health Insurance. Can we have a huge round of applause for him? Thank you, sir, for joining in. We have Dr. Neha Yadav Bhargava, AVP and Head Claims, Axis Max Life Insurance. Next is joining us Sandeep Aggarwal, VP, National Head, Health Claims, IFFCO Tokyo. Can we have a huge round of applause for him? Ashokan, Head Motor Claims, Reliance General Insurance. Can we have a huge round of applause for him as well? Subhasish Mazumder, President and Head Motor Distribution, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. Next is Ashish Chaturvedi, Founder and CEO of Consint.ai. And next is our moderator who shall be navigating this entire landscape of the session. Well, Najm, Bilgrami, SVP and National Head Liability Lines Underwriting, TATA AIG General Insurance. I think we can have a huge round of applause for this key expert panel out here.
So good afternoon everyone. And in fact, first I would like to thank the organizers to giving an underwriter an opportunity to ask claims people the most difficult questions. So thank you for that. On a serious note, let me introduce the panelist, Mr. Pankaj. He's Head of Fraud and Investigation, Aditya Birla Health Insurance Company. Then we have, and in fact, before I move to other, it's almost 150 years of experience which is sitting at this point of time on the stage. So we do have Dr. Neha Yadav. She's AVP and Head Claims at Axis Max Life Insurance. Then we do have Mr. Sandeep Aggarwal, Vice President, National Head for Health Claims, IFFCO Tokyo General Insurance Company. Mr. Kuljit Singh, again Head Claims, Shriram General Insurance. Mr. Ashokan, Senior Vice President and Head Motor Claims, Reliance General Insurance Company. Mr. Subhasish Mazumder, President and Head Motor Distribution, Bajaj General Insurance Company. And then Mr. Ashish, who's going to add a very different flavor because he's the founder and CEO of Consint.ai. So we have a very versatile, I can tell you, panel to have this very important topic. And why I'm saying very important topic, because we are going to discuss how technology is transforming claims management. Now, claims, when we look at in insurance, is the ultimate product which we sell. It is that moment of truth which the customer believe, buy the insurance policy and wait for those moments wherein the insurers honor a fast, speedy, and fair claim settlement. And that's why the use of technology become very important when we are talking about claims. See, in general, when you look at globally, and now we see that happening in India also, wherein insurers are moving from the traditional method of doing insurance to becoming an insurtech company. And let me tell you, it is so much required at this point of time that if the insurers will not opt technology, they will be literally like Ambassador or Nokia of the world. So you don't have a choice as an insurer not moving towards opting technology, opting for these new age tools like AI, machine learning, digital analytics, or automation. And there is my first question, which I would like to direct to Mr. Subhashish, wherein I would like to understand the migration from the manual claim processing to the digital claim processing, wherein I would like to understand his experience in his insurance company, wherein they have moved from the manual to digital claim process. Especially, I would like to understand the challenges which he has faced, and also the cultural and organizational shift which the organization has taken to move from the traditional method to the new digital age claim processing unit.
Thank you, Nazm. Good afternoon to all. I must thank Synex Group for inviting me and a great audience over here. See, I've been in this industry for last 34 years. So I have seen how customers' expectation on claim stat has evolved in last 3 decades. If I can give 2, 3 examples, when I joined the industry, the motor claims, in event of a motor claim, the customer was happy if the claim is settled within 2, 3 months' time in those days. That was the expectation. And in those days, customers, after an accident, will have to carry all those broken parts to office and then pay from their own pocket and then ask for submit the bill for the settlement. From those days to now, so what has changed? Or the technology has embraced so much that today we are in a position to settle not only claims in days, 15 days, 7 days. We settle claim in 20 minutes. So how it happens is that since we become a kind of legacy company, have around 24 years of handling experience, a customer is just required to take a photograph of the damaged vehicle, upload it, and our AI ML algorithm assesses the claim amount, sends an amount to the customer accepts it, and the money is transferred to the customer's account. So this is the journey that 3 decades back to now. If I can give some examples on, we do mobile insurances. Now, if there is a claim on mobile, it is, we can assess from head office on the loss of the mobile also. So a lot of things, I think, and so far as adoption of technology is concerned, I must say, it was not a challenge because the people who have been handling claims, when they see that, adoption of technology has made their life easier. So our management has been heavily investing on technology from day one. So adoption was never a challenge for us.
Ashish, would you like to add?
Absolutely. And first of all, thank you for the opportunity. I'll add a little different perspective from the more technology side. As we think about the example what Subhasish sir gave, that from 3 decades from a paper-based complete process to assessing and kind of paying the claim within 20 minutes. This journey requires 3, 4 broad steps. Number one, first you have to have the digital intake channels. So, you have a phone to kind of take the picture, send it across, whether it is through WhatsApp, through email, through any of the digital channels which you can send it. So you have to digitize and kind of digitalize the intake process. Once you have done that, then it is about standardization. The information which has come in from variety of channels, from variety of mediums and variety of information can be standardized so that a tool like AI or any of the standardized tool can process that. And then comes the auto processing. You have reliable models to assess, and there is both accuracy and confidence to say this amount given back is essentially is the right amount and which can be acceptable to the customer as well. So if you look at this journey, technology is stepping at each step of this journey and driving that, enabling insurers, enabling the processors to process those claims digitally, from moving away from manual to. Now, one thing which I'll highlight is earlier, like if we go from beyond motor to even health and other kind of insurance side, there is a lot of text, there is a lot of contextual information. So with advent of generative AI, now that contextualization, information extraction, and decision process can be done now.
Thank you. So my next question is to Mr. Sandeep, wherein I would like to understand which specific claim process did you find most impactful to optimize through technology, and what's the outcome did you deliver from that?
Thank you so much, Najm. Thank you for having me in this panel, and congratulations to the team who organized this. Well, as Subhasish also spoke about, in the last 3 decades, the industry has evolved from manual to digital. Now, important thing is we are getting into digital, but then from digital to meaningful data, which can be utilized and analyzed, and then a specific decision can be taken, which can be useful for the customer experience as well as the claim settlement. There, the technologies like RPA, OCR, ICR-based document reading is very important, and that is playing an important role nowadays, where a lot of these digital documents, these PDFs or scanned documents, are converted into meaningful data. That data which is then used by the organizations for further analysis, further important decision makings, And the important aspect remains, though there are challenges because the accuracy is the main concern area as of now. The structured documents are, the accuracy is very good, but then when it comes to the manual documents, handwritten documents, the accuracy still remains a challenge. I believe that AI-based technology solutions which are coming now, being introduced in the market and being utilized also, is helping in improving that accuracy and bringing in more efficiency. That's what our experience, that is what we feel at IFFCO Tokyo, that the manual handwritten documents, like in health, we have doctor's prescriptions, lot many information is there, which you need to conceptualize on the basis of what is important from the claims perspective, is something which is required. Thank you.
Thanks, Sandeep. And my next question again to Neha, and I think this is one of the important one, wherein like we all know we are talking about AI. And when I look at the industry, especially when I look at commercial line from where I come, we are still behind when it comes to probably health or life or consumer line, wherein like we see the use of technology is very high as compared to commercial line. And there are reasons to it, because wherein like I see the frequency in which like we get claims on the consumer line side, on the health and the life side is much higher than commercial line. So, and that's why I think these technology become very relevant for you. My question to you is like how AI is helping accelerating the claims settlement for the organization, which is leading to higher satisfaction to the customers. So I would like to understand your take on this.
Sure, sure. Thank you so much, and thank you for this opportunity. And it's a wonderful forum where we can discuss all the latest technologies and which we are imbibing. So coming back to your question, Nazm, AI has helped us a lot. If we talk about these frequent claims that you're talking about, the frequent faster claims which need to be settled. What are these faster claims? These are my straightforward cases. Coming in terms of health or life insurance, I don't necessarily need to investigate those cases. They are probably a fixed income or small income. So do I really need to invest the same amount of time as I would do for a larger value of claim? I don't think so. And this is where AI is helping me and my organization, where building in certain OCR techniques, bringing it up, real-time analysis, which AI is helping us. And, so these are a large claims data set which is there, doing machine learning basis that. So all this has helped us to create a path for straight pass cases where human intervention is minimalized. These cases are straight pass. So what do I receive from them? Customer satisfaction, like Subhasish just shared, the average settlement TAT has gone literally to 20 minutes now. I don't the customer comes with complete set of documents. I'm able to process the claim in no time. And before the customer goes back home, his amount is already credited in his account. So what better way could that be, So, of course, AI is also helping me, collate all the fraud analysis that can help, by this data analysis. So definitely, it's a very big advantage, and I think we should work on this advantage to bring more and more customer satisfaction here.
Thanks, Neha. In fact, I completely agree with you when you look at customer satisfaction. And when I look at the penetration in India, the correlation is, of course, like it's word of mouth. So if somebody is satisfied with the claim settlement, he will definitely like recommend 4 other people. And that's the easiest way to spread and have higher and greater penetration.
I agree, because, the distribution team might not like it, but ultimately it is word of mouth which spreads, that, I had this experience. So I will also probably want to, experience that. So definitely I agree to that.
Yeah, and that's the way regulator wants us to behave. It should not be push to the insured, like to buy the policy. It should be like they are coming and opting the policy. And I think these technologies will definitely help us to reach there. My second question, in fact, is related to the similar point on AI. We, as an industry, we face a very different challenge with respect to fraud. And I would also like to understand, Ashokan, especially from you, that what kind of technology or probably like AI which you use to identify those cases wherein like the actual or genuine customers are not impacted, and those fraudster who are like trying to make unlawful money from insurance are identified. So where the technology is helping you?
Yeah, thanks, Najm. Good afternoon to all. Yeah, definitely AI is playing a larger role in identifying the frauds actually. So, but the fact is, I believe that AI is used by the fraudsters also, because still, if you look at the industry level, I think the frauds are remain same. I think theft ratios are remain same. So now I think AI needs to be evolved more. But still, I think AI is contributing more towards the detection of frauds. I think in terms of, I think AI is based on the data. I think it is giving the pattern analysis. And it is identifying that high risk and the low risk claims, especially that low risk claims have been automated and the high risk claims have been triggered to the investigations. Similarly, I think it gives you behavioral analysis, and it gives you the that voice recognition while intimating the claims. I think the customers, that pattern, that how they are using it. So is there any inconsistent languages has been used, so that will trigger to that fraud control units. Similarly, that if you look at the overall that claim ratio, I think the fraud claims are probably 2-3% at the industry level. I think filtering those claims, I think it is very, very difficult unless and until we have some models run through in the systems. Otherwise, we'll not be able to identify those claims. I think the other point is, how do you satisfy the customers also similarly. So when you're identifying these 2-3% of claims and the overall claims, I think that 97-96% genuine customers should not be affected and should not be penalized also because of the delay and reducing the TAT and all those things and all. I think now, I think this kind of, now, as I said earlier, I think this low risk and high risk, I think low risk claims have been automated so that those customers can be immediately attended. I think these claims have been immediately settled. And similarly, I think transparent communication to the customers. So to keep that touch base should be good, so that they are intimated well, so that those customers are really happy. And there are many other customer initiatives have been taken to make these customers are happy. So when running the AI model parallelly, I think that's it.
If I may add to this, industry should start with the hypothesis the customer is not fraudulent, customer is genuine. That should be the starting process. Because what we sell is actually a piece of paper that will stand by the customer in the event of any unfortunate event. So here comes the role of a tech a big time. So what we do is basically using various technologies. We segregate the files into green, amber, and red. Red is hardly 3-5% of the total claim. So why should I suspect all 100%? Let there be a straight pass, and technology helps us big time. Be it motor, be it health. There are a lot of techs which can do these operations. If I see today's newspaper, you'll see that Ahmedabad has, all hospitals of Ahmedabad has refused to give cashless to general insurance companies in health insurance. So who is at the suffering end? The customers. The use of tech would have been a better way to address it. No?
And also, Nazm, I think it is also important that we bifurcate fraud. What is a soft fraud and a hard fraud? Maybe finding out whether it is actually a fraudster who is making a claim, or is it just that the documentation is not proper, or maybe whether it is the treatment. If we talk about health, then whether the treatment is in line with the standard treatment guidelines which is given by the authorities. So bifurcating, as Subhasish said, into different categories and then taking a decision.
Okay. No, I completely agree with you. In fact, in commercial line Tata AIG, we believe in one philosophy that we don't want to do underwriting at the time of claim. So probably we may ask a lot of questions at the time of picking up the business, but when there is a claim, it has to be very smooth. And especially it becomes very important on the consumer line side, life and health side, wherein you see frequency of claims. So completely agree with you. We'll move to a different set of questions with respect to data analytics. And I can just share one example which I have experienced in my cyber underwriting side, wherein how data helps. So of course, AIG was the first one to introduce cyber insurance in US, and then subsequently, like Tata AIG introduced in 2014. Approximately around 2021, we started analyzing the claims which we received, the cyber claims I'm talking about on the corporate side. What we identified is like 75% plus claims. The root cause is ransomware. These are not those man-in-the-middle attack, denial of service attack, or let's say phishing attacks, or business email compromise. Those are not the reason. The 75% claims the root cause is ransomware. And basis which like we worked on the claims, and AIG came up with a ransomware questionnaire wherein like they started addressing three areas of every insured, which was process, technology, and people. That how they are placed with respect to the ransomware exposure when it comes to claim. Now, when you look at this, and I can tell you, we significantly improved our book. And not only improved our book, we started going back to the customers well in time before placement, saying that this is where we see you. And these are the areas where we want you to improve. Now, you look at like the way the philosophy worked is like you're actually addressing 75% of the claim. So when you're actually addressing 75% of the exposure, you're minimizing your exposure by like 1/4. So this is why we were able to do it, because this was data which presented, which helped us to identify the exposure. So similarly, like especially on the, again, like consumer line side, like we see huge scope wherein the data can be used in various forms, especially in claims handling. And my question, Sandeep, to you is like, how claims have transformed with the use of this data?
Well, as I said, that data is the most important aspect. And if you have the data in the right format, in the right perspective, then you can utilize that data for identifying a fraud, as I said, whether it is a soft fraud or a hard fraud, because most of the time it is the misuse which is done by, maybe if it is a health claim, then by the hospitals or maybe by some other party which is involved. So it plays a very important role in identifying the right use and whether it is fitting within the policy that we have issued. So I think it is important to identify it in a proper manner.
Pankaj, I would like to understand your take on this.
Before I come to the conclusion, I think most of the people are talking about the customer-centric and all this thing. So I just speak about little bit more about the fraud. So then I will come to your question. See, we have seen a lot of fraud at the time of COVID. I think COVID is the time when we realized that all customers are not a genuine customer. And during the COVID time, I think most of the people have, a lot of technology has been come. We are talking about the technology, and I think most fraudsters are 10 times more using technology than insurance company. So whatever the algorithm, whatever the trigger, whatever the AI tool we are building, fraudster, they are already built 6 months before we come into the algorithm, before we come into this thing, that it is taking huge impact. And understand one thing is that COVID time, most of the people have got PDF editor. Many people, they used to, insurance company has open about submit claim on the WhatsApp, technology driven. Submit the claim on the WhatsApp, PDF editor. I got admitted, Najm, I've edited on the PDF, Najm got insurance policy, insurance company settled. 20 minutes, 20 lakh rupees came into this thing. And later on, we have got, after the COVID got over, we have got insurance company loss ratio gone to 700%. And later on, when we have investigated the cases, we found that hospital does not exist, customer has same claim put to multiple insurance company, that fraud is something, it is very important. Being a customer-centric, it is good. But suddenly, we also need to look on what is the genuine customer and what is the fraud customer. Coming to Aditya, and especially in the motor and life, it is easy to put the algorithm, because in motor you are dealing with a non-life. Life insurance claim, you are getting only once. Health insurance claim, when you are coming to health insurance, that entire life cycle, the customer will be getting repeated claim. So once you paid, you are creating legal liability, because I'm handling the claim litigation part also. Along with the investigation, I'm handling the claim litigation, ombudsman, consumer, and all these things. Once you paid a single wrong claim, you have created your legal liability to settle the multiple claim. And in health, we look in the reverse way. Whether the customer, what is the propensity or frequency the customer is going to claim up to us. So like that, coming to your point on the data analytic part, yes, it is very important in the terms of the investigation or type of the claim it is getting triggered. I will give you the rough data which in Aditya Birla, which we are doing. We are investigating around 15% of the claim. And on the total payout, we are making 12% impact. So I think this is the number which I can code it, which are making total payout, if I'm settling 170 CR claim monthly and 30 to 35 CR claim, we are rejecting just by investigating 10 to 12% claim. So this is the impact of the data analytic, which is paying huge impact on the data analytic system, rule-based trigger. And we are coming with the new technology, which I'm currently working with a different vendor like photochromatic or facial scan and other thing, where we can judge whether the customer is actually required hospitalization or it is simply OPD to IPD conversion, where the hospital or customer is trying to manipulate, get the insurance benefit. So different, I think, technologies there. So many people all are new. So I think Gen AI and different. I give you an example, which is click to my mind. I just give you example. I was investigating the corporate claim. And while investigating the corporate claim, it was a huge pressure. Not to investigate, client chala jayega, it is a bad customer experience and all this thing. So I've taken, okay, fine, settle all this thing, I will do the audit afterward. And while doing the audit, the corporate claim, I found with the help of I think this is possible only with the help of Gen AI and all this thing. One claim from the Pune, on the follow-up discharge card, there's a mobile number is mentioned. One claim on the Hyderabad, on the discharge card, same mobile number is mentioned. Which claim is genuine, which claim is not genuine? Because of the corporate pressure, we have settled, and later on we investigated, we found one case of fraud. It was a PDF edited. So there is a huge book, and in investigation, it is technology can never overrule the investigation. Technology can over trigger the case, and it is very, very important that the person who is going on the ground is investigating the case. What is the interpersonal skill of the person? Because of technology, I think there is a huge pressure on the field investigator or on the investigation team that काम तो cheap में हो जाता है. But when company get hit of the 3 or 4 CR, then we realize the importance of the investigation, which is more important. So technology, I've seen that I've got rule-based trigger, I've got AI-based trigger, I've got manual-based trigger. Everything success rate is same. And my CEO expectation, if the Gen AI or system-based trigger is 100% referral होना चाहिए, 100% success rate आना चाहिए.
Ashish, you would like to add?
So I would just like to add, I mean, I think, Pankaj, you have said it very well. The fraud technology used by a fraudster is evolving much faster than the businesses, insurance, and others can keep up, which requires a more holistic risk management strategy on the fraud side. So on one side, for a genuine customer, genuine claim, we want to pay automatically in shortest possible time, because that's where our consumer experience is important, and genuine claims need to be paid. The other side, we see the kind of manipulation, so more waste, more abuse, where amounts are inflated or additional benefits getting covered, but still there is a genuine claim, which is what kind of Sandeep said, softer frauds. And then there are hard frauds where someone is definitely taking advantage in trying to make money out of this insurance process. So right at the beginning, we need to take a holistic approach, understanding which ones are essentially the genuine claims need to be paid in time, need to be paid faster, without much human intervention, and which drives our auto processing, versus where we need a greater kind of, not essentially the fraud investigation, but more kind of stick and carrot approach, where we incentivize not to do kind of wastages, not to do abuse of the system. And then the fraud, where a much stricter approach is required. This something which is enabled by more commercial platforms, by more people who are specialized, who are just working on that to support the businesses, whether it is Pankaj, Sandeep, or everybody else here. And advent of technology, especially with generative AI, a lot of what we used to do together is coming at one place. With LLMs, we can do much more. we can do the contextual extraction. So adoption of the newer technologies is as important and as a kind of holistic risk management from the fraud perspective.
I would like to add here that AI has its own pros and cons, while so it has its own pros and cons. While it'll give us a trigger for a fraud claim, but we also should see that it is also helping genuine customers who will, whose claim is getting delivered faster or settled faster. So yes, we have to take it with a pinch of salt. There could be errors in judgment from both manual as well as from the AI, but the trust will slowly build up. That's all I can say. So Pankaj, trust will slowly come. Probably we are in too much of a nascent phase right now and expecting too much immediately. But I think over a period of a few years now, we should be this should be the game actually.
I would add that, the IRDA did a marvelous job by coming up with a Bima Satark. So what it happens is that if a customer is hospitalized at the same time, within last 6 months or years' time, in 2 places, you get a trigger on that. So point here is whether you boil the entire ocean or you apply tech to identify the red cases. So there lies the catch. And I would be surprised to know that when I see IIB data, the fraud is prevalent in third-party claims, motor third-party claims, is heavily prevalent, and there's a complete ecosystem works on that. When you see IIB data, you'll see that there are some customers who every alternate year with a amputed hand will lodge a claim with one insurance company, after 2 years another insurance company, and they're sucking money out of the system this way. So data crunching through IIB data is very important.
I think insurance is all about documentation, and fraudster knows कि insurance company को क्या documentation चाहिए. Whether आपको और मेरे क्लेम एसेसर को नहीं पता होगा, बट उनको अगर उसमें आपको क्या बोलते हैं कि मेरे को इस केस में मेरे को लीगल हायर सर्टिफिकेट चाहिए, इस केस में मेरे को थर्ड पार्टी का इंश्योरेंस चाहिए, इस केस में मेरे को पुलिस फाइनल क्लोजर का रिपोर्ट चाहिए. रिसेंटली वी हैव गॉट गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी इन राजस्थान, एंड गवर्नमेंट पॉलिसी लॉट ऑफ ह्यूज प्रेशर कि भाई 250 रुपये का प्रीमियम है क्रेडिट कार्ड का, जो है क्रेडिट कार्ड किसान क्रेडिट कार्ड पे. एंड वी हैव स्टार्टेड कि भी इन्वेस्टिगेशन तो करना है इसको कैसे भी हो, बिकॉज लॉस रेशियो हमसे पहले 2 कंपनियों का 200-250% का लॉस रेशियो था. आई हैव गॉट ओके फ्रॉम माई सीओ साइड की 100% इन्वेस्टिगेट करो. इंटीमेशन लेवल से हमने इन्वेस्टिगेट करना चालू किया. पता चला एक बंदे का हमारे पास डेथ क्लेम आया था, उसमें पोस्टमार्टम पीएम एवरीथिंग वाज देयर, एंड व्हेन वी फाउंड दैट पर्सन वाज अलाइव. बोलता सर अभी पेपर नहीं बना था, मेरे को नहीं पता था इतनी जल्दी इन्वेस्टिगेशन हो जाएगा. मतलब इस सब केसेस में आप क्या ही सोचो कि आपको जेनआईए और ये सब चीजें क्या करके देगी. फील्ड इन्वेस्टिगेशन का इज गॉट ओन इम्पोर्टेंट, एंड इट कैन मतलब नेहा वाज गिविंग एग्जांपल कि लो टिकट साइज पे एंड ऑल दिस थिंग. आई गिव यू एग्जांपल. हमारे पास आइकिया का ओपीडी के क्लेम बहुत सारे आ रहे थे. वी गॉट सर्टेन एनालिसिस की भाई ये सारी चीजें एक ही डेंटल स्टोर से आ रहे हैं. हमने कुछ सर्टेन कोड को फील्ड पे इन्वेस्टिगेट करना चालू किया. लोगों ने पीडीएफ एडिटर करके उस वहां पे शॉप ही नहीं एग्जिस्ट करता था. And then we have written to HR, 45 people got terminated.
So Pankaj, just to substantiate your point, I would like to refer a Gartner report. And see, it is about human interaction when it comes to insurance is so important. I'm talking about a data which is published by Gartner for the developed country, which suggests that 70% of the customer interactions are handled by the self-service channel powered by AI and the chatbots in the developed country when I'm talking about US, Europe and all. Now, why 70%? Why not 100%? Because when it comes to insurance, what you're talking about, the human interaction, the human touch cannot be removed completely. And we definitely need technology to have faster claim settlement, faster quotes. But at the same time, when you have to speak to those customers who have suffered and you have to provide contingency capital to them, you need person speaking to the person. So like, yes, technology is important, but at the same time, in fact, with respect to fraud, the same report of Gartner also suggests that insurers using advanced data analytics for fraud detection have reported 40% improvement in fraud identification rates. So yes, as I said, it's a thin line. When you look at one side, we're talking about 40% fraud detection, which has been improved after using all these advanced technology. So we need to address all these areas, but yeah, it's a thin line and we have to be, yes, you wanted to add something, yeah.
So I think you are rightly said, Najm. I think if you see, AA will detect you, I think 40% of claims are fraud, I think. Then it has come to a human intervention, then finally it has come down to 3-4%, I think. If you leave it to AA to take a decision, I think 15-20% claims will be rejected. I think your LR will become good. I think your management would be happy, but at the end of the day, I think you will lose all your customers. I think the point here is, I think AA needs more, to be evolved in the industry. I think it will take another couple of years, I believe.
So when we are talking about customer satisfaction through digitalization journey, Neha, my question to you, can you suggest the technology used to improve customer communication, transparency, and turnaround time?
Absolutely. So, and I would just like to quote an example here. We've all been using Swiggy and Zomato for quite some time now and can't even imagine our lives without it. So imagine the kind of services they are given. Immediately we can order it on app, and I don't think so hardly, I think less than 0.1% people would have got their orders wrong. And anything that we need to complain or give a good thumbs up, the chatbot is there. So the kind of services they are giving is what we are expecting and what we want to inculcate in an insurance perspective as well. So where is that helping me? Chat bots which are coming up. Then, the entire, we just discussed about faster claim settlements and, so many of the robotic processes that are there. We've automated those which do not actually need human intervention and were causing a delay in my processes. Just not worth it to have a man, there. Of course, ease of customer to submit any claims, documentations, the customer can go onto a portal, submit the documents there, e-signatures, the customer can, of course, there is e-signature. He doesn't need to personally go and visit the branch. So all these have resulted in a higher customer satisfaction and NPS scores. At least I can proudly boast about our claims team. Yes, we are running at 90+ NPS scores, and these are the little things that we've given the customer. While Pankaj, we still agree that human intervention is needed. But you see, even imagine an old person, he has to go to the branch. Doesn't need to go to the branch any longer. He can just send us the documents over email or even a WhatsApp. Easier to, the customer can, in the initial site, only go to the company's website, ask what all are the claim documents that are needed, can be guided accordingly. So of course these are very high, these look very, very mundane right now because we've been using it in other forums, but coming in an insurance background, it has definitely taken the customer satisfaction to a great level.
If I can add, if we think from customer's perspective, think about a car insurance claim. So customer is very anxious when he gives his car to the workshop for repair, and he wants to know what is the condition of repair. When can he go to take delivery of the car? So what we do is that we use GenAI enabled interactive voice board to update the customer on every phase. The survey done, job order given, repair done. So customer is proactively updated. So that's how the tech is helping to get customers delight. Similarly, on a health claim, customer gets anxious at the time of hospitalization and at the time of discharge. So again, this kind of bots are used to keep the customer updated where he stands. This gives customers use of tech to get customers delight.
So on the customer delight, Ashokan, I have the next question from you, that how much reduction of that have you seen after implementation of these digital technologies?
I think if you see that, because of this AI digital transformation, probably I think 70-80% of your TATAs come down in the low value claims, not on the overall claims. I think if you see that, still that high value, high risk claims have been human intervention is there. I think that has been put to the separate channel. But if you look at the low value claims, I think low risk, I would say that. I think it has come down by 60-70% at the industry level. And probably this has been the tools which have been used to do this. I think many of the companies are using RPA, OCR, and the NLPs, and many other things. I think AI and models running in the systems actually. Overall, I would say that 60-70% has come down, for the low value claims. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. Subhasish, would you like to add?
Yeah.
On the turnaround time?
So basically, I'll just give some data that will help you understand the perspective. So we handle, 60,000 health claims a month. If I add government health, we do Gujarat government health, it comes to 1.6 lakh claims a month. Now, how many people are handling this claim? There's a set of 30 people who are handling this claim. Now, again, I go back to, 3 decades back when a person used to, manually check the bills and all. So this, volume, instead of 30, if the manual thing had continued, would have needed 30,000 people. The insurance company would have needed to settle process the claims. Here you see the impact or the change, the cost saving from insurance company by using tech. So that's one example on your health claim side. And on motor claim side also, as I said, we handle almost 60,000 claims a month in motor claims, 60,000 accidents a month. So again, with a limited manpower using tech, because so what happens what has evolved is over here, customer uploads vehicle photographs on us, and with our ML algo, we can identify, whether it's fraud flagged or not. If not, what would be the payable claim estimation? Accordingly, it's bucketed and it's made straight pass.
Thanks. Thanks, Subhasish. And I have my last question, and I would like to understand this from Ashish. Considering his experience on the developed side, he has worked with insurance companies on the developed market, and now he's working with a lot of Indian players. So I would like to understand from you, what advice would you like to give to the insurers who are starting their digital journey or they are startups in their claims management?
Definitely. So there are a few anecdotal points which I would like to call out. Like 25 years back when I was in the US, I started working on the health side. 50-60% was paper claims. That time in late 90s. Over next 20 years, it has gone through a transformation through various methods, digitization, standardization of information, interoperability of information, bringing it all together. What we are seeing here in our market, in emerging markets, that these journeys are happening in parallel. So on one side, we have a lot of focus on digitization. Other side, we want to standardize that information, process that information, make auto decisioning, do auto processing, and at the same time improve the customer experience. I think this is a lot happening at the same time. So there is no way you can boil the ocean, as many of the panelists said. It is about small experiments. Can you keep on doing small experiments, make them successful, let them grow? Eventually what you will see, that process is completely transformed. We don't need another 3 decades now. We can do that what we have done in 3 decades in next 3 years. That is how technology is evolving, and so fast it is evolving that we can take advantage out of it. At the same time, we do not become victim of it. Because we also have to keep in mind the fraudsters, if you look at cyber frauds. In last 3 years, they have grown so much that even governments are worried, that can basically cripple the economy to that extent. So while keeping an eye on the external world, keeping an eye how technology is evolving, at the same time, you cannot disrupt business. You cannot kind of overnight change things. It is the success lies in small experiments. And those small experiments, leveraging the latest technology, will eventually drive the overall business transformation. If we fast forward few years, the key differentiator in the marketplace will be the technology adoption, and particularly the AI technology. With the advent of generative AI, the capability, the possibilities what generative AI offers, that will become a differentiation in business models, that will become a differentiation, how we are servicing customers, how we are processing their claims, how we are underwriting it, and this all can change in kind of next few years. So while we kind of continue to evolve for today, but are we prepared for tomorrow? Are we kind of sowing the right seeds to kind of grow the bigger trees in future? That is the question. There are no definite answers, there are no fixed answers, but that is the question when we keep on asking every day as we kind of start our business, as we go to our business, are we preparing for future? Are we doing those small experiments which will kind of drive the transformation for future? I think so it is more a question than kind of a advice.
Yes.
I think I just want to add it because we keep on talking about the digital thing. Entire legal system, because when I'm handling the legal part also, I just share the small example. We are sales ke time pe, claim ke time pe, we got evolved. But our legal system is still very far behind. I'm talking about the real experience when suppose person has taken online policy, उसने आपको advisor ने किसी ने उसको sell किया, online policy उसका बेचा, and then we have got claim, we have rejected the claim, and that claim land up into the ombudsman is stating that कि आपने ये disclose नहीं किया था XYZ condition, then because of XYZ underwriting guidelines, I'm not going to settle the case. Customer is telling me, sir, मैंने तो सब कुछ बताया था, ये advisor ने नहीं बोला था. तो उसमें भी आता है कि अच्छा OTP based authentication हुआ था कि नहीं हुआ था. OTP नहीं बराबर हुआ तो OTP वो तो मेरे को customer ने बोल दिया था. Then legal there is a term called respondent superior. If your advisor is doing certain blunder, insurance company is liable to pay that. And nowadays that fraud nexus is happening in such a way कि that hospital advisor nexus उसको 10 कंपनियों को offer रहता है. It is मतलब somewhere the legal system should also कि we are talking about the certain rule which is, and on top of that DPDT Act, which is Data Security Act, with this further processing, enhancing the fraudulent claim. Somewhere our legal system, somewhere the law should also come. I just gave the example I was talking to my HR. He got clowned from Axis Bank, stating that कि आपका credit card पे service charges हैं, you need to pay that. I will send you the link. You do and self-mode link, and you're automatically don't use your credit card for next 24 hours. Automatically get blocked. एक OTP आएगा, आप उसको share कर दीजिएगा. And after that, she did all this exercise. 1,65,000 का iPhone उसके phone से buy हो गया. And when she reported to RBI stating that so much so and fraud has happened, because I've done LLB also, she consent में कि भाई ऐसा हुआ. मैंने कहा OTP share किया तो खत्म हो गया. अभी आप ombudsman पे जाओगे तो उसको केवल एक ही line पूछेगा आपको, OTP आपने share किया कि नहीं share किया. मतलब RBI is just thinking कि radio पे ad दे देना कि don't share OTP, don't click on unknown link and all this thing. Then we have approached to advocate this thing, भाई आपको arbitration mode पे जाना पड़ेगा. अभी बैंक वालों का है कि भाई 1,65,000 का कितना negotiate कर सकते हो, आप negotiate करो, but you need to settle this case. So somewhere we keep on digitization. We also need to think what is the law protecting to the customer. Because ऐसा हो जाएगा कि इतना अगर आपको पता SIM cloning हो गया है, OTP आपका हैक हो जाता है, आपका WhatsApp हैक हो जाता है, मतलब ऐसा fraud, to detect the fraud, I can get so many things which a normal person cannot get. तो आपके आज के डेट में डिजिटल वर्ल्ड में आपके लिए कुछ इम्पॉसिबल नहीं है. आपका बैंक अकाउंट डिटेल, आपके पैन कार्ड डिटेल, आपका PF अकाउंट डिटेल, आपका व्हीकल का डिटेल, आपके कितने कॉल रिकॉर्ड किए आपने, आपका वॉइस कॉल रिकॉर्डिंग, सब कुछ पॉसिबल है. एंड पीपल आर मोर फॉरवर्ड्स आर मोर यूजिंग दैट. तो समवेयर द लॉ शुड ऑल्सो बी देयर कि बिफोर वी बिगिन मूविंग इनटू दैट मच डिजिटाइजेशन कि इट इज इम्पॉसिबल टू कम बैक. सर्टेन लॉ शुड प्रोटेक्ट द कस्टमर.
Subhasish, you want to add?
Yeah, I would say on the closing note, what you started with, tech is no more a luxury, it's a necessity. And what I see is that what internet was, say around 15, 20 years back, it took time to evolve. But the way GenAI is, barging into everything, it will not take so much of time. Within, every year we're seeing change. Now, when I say that point comes to insurance companies, people who are working there, where can we use GenAI? It's still a people say highly hyped word. What do I do with that? I personally use these a lot in my daily things. I scan through all my operations and then see which part of the operation are rudimentary, repetitive. Can it be automated? Just this thought process will give us a lot of use cases. These are practically seen. I believe industry, everybody, bright minds here, they should also think alike because we can't avoid the ingress of GenAI. You'll find use cases everywhere.
Also, thank you. Thank you, everyone. In fact, a very interesting session wherein we covered various aspects of claim. I would like to end the session stating that it's a journey wherein we moved from the physical claims settlement wherein insureds are standing in the insurance company with those physical papers, and today we have those claims getting settled in 20 minutes. And we have the other step wherein we have to move is the wellness side, wherein probably the insurers advising the insureds that how to mitigate a claim, how to completely avoid a claim. It's happening on especially the line of business which I do, wherein on the cyber front, I see insurers, reinsurers globally coming up with various tools, techniques, pre-placement services to help insureds to identify areas to improve so that they can't be hacked, or how they can improve their contracts so that the professional indemnity claims can be avoided, your ESG reports so that the directors and officers liability claims can be avoided. And I think it's applicable in every line of business, including claims, wherein we will move slowly from those physical documents to the technological advancement, which will help the claims to get settled faster and then subsequently to avoid those claims. I think with that, I would like to thank you. It was a very nice audience. If you guys have any question, in fact, with respect to claims and digital claims management.
I think we can just take one quick question.
Sure.
Yeah, I think the gentleman out here. Can we have the mic pass quickly on the first table? Kindly start with introducing you and your company name.
Hello. Yeah. So hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Shubham Sodani. I'm from Bajaj Allianz General Insurance. So we have all talked about the Gen AI, ML, and fraudsters, but how the insurance companies are coping up for reducing the false positives in the organization. So how things are, from the insurance company's side that they are, reducing their false positives in the organization.
Can you please elaborate when you're talking about the false positive? So, in which area you are
for any LOBs which we can talk about either in health or in the motor, but the fraudsters are coming more from the business side or the claim side. But how insurance companies are coming and reducing their false positives in the organization, and how they are coping up in the market.
I will allow Pankaj to speak, but I think data is the most important thing. Your past experience, your data, those claims which you have experienced in the past, or probably out of those 100 fraud claims, you may have identified those 10 claims. Those are the one which will answer your question. That deep dive into those claims, identify what is going wrong, and if you are able to identify the methods or the technology which they are using, I think that will help you to smoothen the process. I think. Yeah.
I think Shubham is asking the CEO wala question. कि 100 क्लेम इन्वेस्टिगेट कर रहे हो तो 100 में से 100 में रिजल्ट आने चाहिए भाई 20 साल के एक्सपीरियंस में मैंने नहीं देखा 20 साल हो गए मेरे को फ्रॉड देखते हुए एंड 20 साल से आई हैव सीन दैट कि वो 45-50% तक जा रहा है नाउ वी हैव स्टार्टेड यूजिंग दैट कि पहले 30% आता था अभी 50% आ रहा है इट इज़ अ जर्नी मतलब अर्लियर अगर मैं आज से 10 साल पहले बात करूं जब मैं इन न्यूवा भूपा डेज वेयर आई यूज्ड टू इन्वेस्टिगेट वहाँ पे हमारा 30% फ्रॉड प्रूवन होता था आज के डेट में विद एडवांस टेक्नोलॉजी विद द डिफरेंट थिंग हमारा ऑन एन एवरेज 50 to 55% के अराउंड सक्सेस रेट जाता है व्हाट वी आर डूइंग टू रिड्यूस फॉल्स पॉजिटिव कि वॉट एवर द डेटा जो स्पेशली जो रिफर होता है इन्वेस्टिगेशन के लिए मेनली जो आपका स्ट्रक्चरल डेटा रिफर होता है स्ट्रक्चर डेटा पॉलिसी 6 मंथ पुराना है नेगेटिव लोकेशन है हॉस्पिटल कॉशन कैटेगरी में है या CRD कैटेगरी एडवाइजर है हाई LR एडवाइजर है हाई प्रोपेंसिटी रेट है ऑल दिस थिंग कैटेगरी पे मतलब चीज़ें रेफर होती। डॉक्यूमेंट में क्या चीज़ें लिखा है, वहाँ पे जो क्लेम फॉर्म पे क्या लिखा है, क्या चीज़ पीडीएफ एडिटर क्या है, बार इस्कॉन का वो बार कोड का मैनिपुलेशन तो नहीं हुआ है, ऑल दिस थिंग, दिस इज अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड डेटा विच GenAI and other technology which is helping us, which will further help in reducing that false positive, but don't expect much. Another 5-10% will 50% पे अभी 65% तक चलाएगा। 100% तो I think it will take कौन सा ऐसे कोई नया AI या फिर कोई तो एलियन आएगा तो प्रोसेस पे पता चलेगा।
Ashish, a quick one from you. Yeah.
Yeah, just a quick one on that one, Shubham. So basically, when you do the modeling, first you have the identification. In identification, you have the learning built in, so you're using the learning models. But then once for the softer frauds, or which is what we call medium risk, you also build challenger models, which are essentially going to challenge that identification and suppress what is potentially a false positive. Having said that, as a business, when you make a decision, your thumb rule is that you identify twice the incident rate. So if your fraud incident rate is like say 7%, which nobody knows for sure it is, but this is continuously evolving, then you 14-15% you flag to make sure that there is no opportunity left on the table. Because there is a kind of money which is, if you don't identify, then it will be kind of wasted. So that's why there is a balance between the two, which is every business has to make that balance, how much to identify, how much to flag. Great.
Thank you everyone. Yeah.
Thank you. And I think
so much.
with that, the message is loud and clear. The future of claim is digital, data-driven, and of course, customer-centric. Can we have a huge round of applause for the entire panel out here? I'll also request Sudeep Chatterjee, Country Director, Duck Creek Technologies, to kindly join us on stage to felicitate our absolutely great, sharpest mind panels out here. I'll request Dr. Pankaj Srivastava kindly join us on center stage and accept the memento. Thank you, sir. Absolutely great insights. Can we have a huge round of applause, everybody? Well, with this, we also know that claims is no longer a process. It's almost like an experience. And of course, I'll request Dr. Neha Yadav Bhargava to kindly join us on stage and accept the memento. Thank you for the great insights again. It was great conversation with all the sharp minds out here. I'll request Sandeep Aggarwal. Thank you, sir, for joining in once again and great inputs. Can we have a huge round of applause? I know lunch is on the corner, but come on. I have a very interesting session also, so don't leave the room because we have something great to be announced. I'll request Ashokan, Mr. Ashokan, kindly join us on stage, Head Motor Claims, Reliance General Insurance. Thank you, sir, once again. Very thoughtful topic and great insights. I'll request Subhasish Mazumder, President and Head Motor Distribution, Bajaj Allianz General Insurance, to accept the memento. I'll request Ashish Chaturvedi, founder and CEO of Consint.ai. Once again, great inputs. Thank you for addressing the question as well. I'll request our moderator. Thank you for keeping it interactive, informative, and a very knowledgeable session. Najm Bilgrami, SVP, National Head, the Liability Lines, Underwriting, TATA AIG, General Insurance. The data-driven technology in insurance definitely